Japan has long been our most valuable beef export market, but there's still room for Australian beef to improve its position and gain even higher premiums. In the country that gave us the Iron Chef TV show, the five-star dining sector is enormously influential. Jane Drinkwater reports on how MLA is working to mould the opinion of those five-star opinion leaders.
In Japan, Aussie beef is seen as an everyday good value product with a clean, natural image. It's a tag which can be traced to successful consumer marketing from the 90s, and it served us well against our major competitor, the US.
98% of Japanese housewives are aware of the Aussie Beef brand, which is an amazing achievement for the Australian beef industry.
Australia's reputation for food safety is the foundation for our success in Japan. BSE in the US highlighted the comparison, but it's a message that needs reinforcing. In November, over 800 people from all walks of the Japanese meat sector attended a series of Aussie forums. Importers, retailers, chefs and media heard key messages about Australia's food safety, livestock quality and traceability systems.
The federal government mandates in the Export Control Act that individual carcasses be linked back to the Property Identification Code, or PIC, for traceability and identification purposes.
But the everyday good value position of Australian beef can be limiting, especially away from the supermarket.
Well, about 2/3 of all the beef consumed in Japan goes into the food service sector, and that has probably doubled over the past 25 years or so.
Consumption of Australian beef has followed the same trend. While fast food and family restaurants turn over the bulk of that beef, the five-star sector demands a premium product and influences the rest.
Japanese are very influenced by what we call opinion leaders. And for an expert on food, there's no better opinion leader than a chef from a five-star, fine dining restaurant.
As part of its efforts to increase penetration of Australian red meat into the five-star sector, MLA brings groups of chefs from top-tier restaurants and food service media to tour Australia's beef and lamb industry. It's a chance for them to broaden their view.
I gained a new appreciation of grass-fed beef, and I would like to do a bit of research into what degree of freshness, how much it should be aged, and ways to prepare it that would work best in Japan.
I felt that the producers are really putting their all into it, and also there's an amazing degree of cooperation between them and the abattoirs where they slaughter the cattle and turn it into product. You can really see just how much enthusiasm they have.
I was able to gain a better understanding not only about production and safety, but about the trend of the last few years of trying to produce even higher quality product.
The visit included meals at some of Australia's finest restaurants, including Sydney's Sailor's Thai at Circular Quay, to sample a range of beef types in different cuisine styles.
To be honest, while I've been using lamb for a long time now, I hadn't used beef at all. However, this time I have been shown so much, and I really felt that there are amazing possibilities. So, in future, I think I'd like to try using Australian beef.
One of the chefs held off his own back. He wanted to hold a seminar for all the chefs in his region. He organised, a seminar with over 50 chefs to go to his hotel to learn more about Australian beef. So if a top chef from a Michelin star restaurant or a prestigious hotel says, I've gone to Australia and I've met the farmers and I've seen how the beef is produced, and it is not only safe, but I'm really impressed by the flavour of it, and I use it at my restaurant. I mean, there's no better recommendation than that.
The five-star focus hasn't meant MLA's turned its back on the other parts of the market. In the media, in family restaurants and in retail, the work of selling Australian beef and lamb more broadly goes on, including a strong push for a greater presence of lamb in the retail sector. Increasingly, the work of selling Australian beef in this market is supplemented by investment from others.
Most of the work we do in Japan, there would be very little in which MLA is funding 100%. Most of our work is in collaboration, whether it be with Australian exporters or Japanese retailers or food service sector.
That means producers' investment goes further, which is just as well. Half of Australia's export beef income comes from this market, and the competition is red hot.